And we are live, supposedly. Hopefully. Hopefully we're live.
Hey guys,
Hello, everyone.
buenos dias.
Go ahead, sis. You can start. Hold on. Wait, I don't even know if we should start talk. I'm like, I want to start talking, but I don't know if this is working. It says we're live. We're live. It worked. It worked. I can see comments. Yes. Grand Rising, everyone.
Hey guys.
I see our sister Miriam joined us. Hold on, let me turn this down.
I can see comments.
I'm so excited, you guys. You don't even know how long I struggled. The struggle was real. Okay. All right, everyone can see us. Awesome. Wait, what did Desert Siren say? She says something cocky. She said my coffee is cold now. Whatever, Desert Siren. I know I had to warm mine up. Girl, that's what the microwave is for. Get it. Put it on that 1 minute. Okay, so everyone is saying good morning. I hope everyone is having a lovely morning. We're still in morning. I had to check the time really quick. Hope everyone is having a lovely morning. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. So we do have some big announcements, but before we get started, hold on 1 second. Let me do this really quick. I gotta make my drink too. Sis, you can go ahead and I don't know. We know everybody can see us now. I'll let you know if anybody has questions, after we're done, announcing stuff. If anybody has questions, you guys can leave your questions in all caps. That way we know it's a question. If it gets too busy, it just helps us out to be able to know. Right now, everyone's just greeting. Everyone's saying good morning, grand rising. Julia said she's almost finished with her coffee. I'm sorry. Go ahead and talk, you guys. I'm like,
Hey guys, buenos dias, grand rising to everybody. I hope everyone's having a really good morning. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry about the little technical difficulty about the delay, but thank you for hanging in there. So next time we'll definitely have everything. Nobody's coffee is gonna be going cold or anything. Next time make a smoothie, y'all. No, I'm just joking. So, but I hope everyone's doing good, and I just want to I'll start out says thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I know I said it in my tarot talks video this week, but man, I'm just saying last Sunday though, wow, last Sunday was it was amazing. It was mind blowing, you guys. I don't share people's information from their readings because it's confidential, you know. But let's just say the readings were very, very powerful. I really felt even just the energy in the place, right, Nina? When we were there, it was just woo! It was
right. So for those of you guys that were not did not attend on Sunday or don't know what the hell we're talking about, we had our witchcraft fair on Sunday and it was bomb. It got so packed. It was really hot inside the place because there was so many people. And I think people were bringing the heat in from outside, they were carrying it within their pores or some shit. But it was warming up the whole place. The energy was amazing. The vendors, all the vendors, they had such amazing things. But that's what Sister Stephanie's talking about right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis. You can go ahead and
yeah, no, so I just wanted to say thank you. And I know that there were, I mentioned this in my video this week, but there were several people who I wasn't able to get a reading to because, like Nina said, it was packed. So I know that there were people waiting and everything. So it was just nonstop. So if I did not get to you, please contact me on here, contact me on the Real Witches of Chicago, contact me on Instagram, Facebook, and I will give you a discount. Okay, just let me know. Hey, Steph, it's me. I was there at the Witch Made, the Witchcraft Fair, and we'll get together and we'll get your reading in because I really it was just amazing, and I want to have the opportunity, to be able to sit down with everybody that wanted a reading. So.
I'm over here making my latte. Okay. See, my drinking cold. Just kidding. It is so cold. Okay, so let's see. What should we start with? Should we start with the class announcements? Should we start there? Because I want to save the big thing for the last thing.
Oh,
I want to
I
make
was
everybody wait with anticipation.
for yesterday that also. One second.
Okay. So yesterday we had a blast. Like yesterday we had a sister day. We had we had a girls day, and it was amazing. Like me and Stephanie, we hung out. We went to Wicker Park. We had well, what did we do first? We went straight to Wicker Park, didn't we? No, we went around. Oh, this was the other thing. So many people have brought water for like the
I was
homeless,
gonna
because we
mention.
had huh?
No, sorry, I was just gonna mention that to thank you to everybody that brought water and everything because yesterday I was just yeah, go ahead. I was gonna mention that.
Oh, okay. So at the Witchcraft fair on Sunday, the event that we're talking about, we had collected waters for the homeless. We had collected dog food and like dog accessories for like the homeless that have pets with them, because if you guys are not from Chicago, if you guys are from Chicago, you guys know that like the homeless community is huge over here. Like you know, so there's a lot of homeless people, especially when you get more to like going towards downtown, like before getting to downtown in the city, there's a lot of homeless people. So we actually went to Humboldt Park. We went and like gave waters to the homeless that were there, because there were some homeless that were in the park. And you guys, we're getting into some hot weather. Like it's starting to get really hot outside. Um, and here in Chicago, every summer, our hospitals, our emergency rooms are filled with homeless people that are suffering from heat stroke, from dehydration. So we really wanted to, you know, I try to make it a very important thing to be included, that every event that I host, I want to give back to another community. And it's like it's extending a loving hand, creating a bridge, letting these other communities know in the area that witches are not bad people. Like this is things that we do. We care about other people. And so at our witchcraft fair, we collected water, we collected dog food, we collected leashes, different things like that, treats. Everybody brought something in, and everyone brought, like, there was so much stuff that got brought in. So yesterday we drove around and we were searching for homeless people so that we could give them jugs of water. We didn't see any dogs yesterday. Here's the thing, is that we're not just taking this stuff and dropping it off at a homeless shelter. We are going because we're wanting to give these things specifically to them in their hand, and you know, and like let them know who it's from, and stuff like that. So we yeah, that's what we did yesterday. We started off our sister hangout, our god sister hangout, by going and taking things to the homeless, and we made our way down to Wicker Park. When we were in Wicker Park, we had an amazing time too. So we had started off with some really bomb beverages. Sis, you want to go ahead and tell them about the coffee place that we went to?
Yes. Okay. So like, I'm super excited about this because we are gonna be able to, guys. We're gonna have events and in the venue, the coffee place, where we're gonna be able to have workshops and things like that. We're gonna be able to enjoy um, beverages and snacks and everything that you can have the choice that they're infused with CBD. So I know a lot of people are there's CBD everything, bath bombs, everything. Socks. I mean, there's everything with CBD now. So I just think I'm really, really excited about it. It's a completely really chill space. I like the energy there. There's plenty of room, so I'm really looking forward to getting together with everyone there and having the workshops and learning and enjoying our little treats and our tinctures, you know, made of CBD and everything. So it's gonna be awesome. I mean, you can have the choice to order it without that, but if
But
you
it's
want,
better with.
yeah, you can. You can order a double shot too. Just letting you know.
Yeah, that's what we did. We had like I had a matcha latte, a green latte with CBD oil in it, double shot. I was like, oh, it was bomb. It was amazing.
Yeah, I had a smoothie.
And you guys celebrating January 1st of 2020, we will be legal for recreational use. So
yeah.
I'm excited about that too. Here Vanessa wants to know for the Real Witches of Chicago is on what social site. So Vanessa, we have started a YouTube. We don't have any videos on there as of yet, but we are going to be working on adding some videos to the YouTube channel. But the Real Witches of Chicago is on Facebook. Stephanie just created that Facebook page like a few days ago, right? Or last week sometime?
Yes, so we have a Facebook page and also Instagram at the Real Witches of Chicago, the whole name. So both of those sites, and that's gonna be where all of our info for the events and pictures from the events and everything is gonna be on those.
Mm-hmm. And we also want everybody to know when we say the Real Witches of Chicago, like there have been people that have gone to other like witchy communities saying like, oh, what do you think about Nina calling themselves the Real Witches of Chicago? Like, of course there has to be somebody that goes over there and like wants to like,
y'all want drama. That's what y'all want. Y'all want to see the queen, fighting with other queens, and we're not gonna give that to you. So
yeah, we don't do that. That's not what we're about. So when we say the Real Witches of Chicago, we a lot of times people will ask us like, are you Wiccan? Are you pagan? No, we're just witches. We're witches. That's what we classify ourselves, and that's just how. I mean, I don't I really don't share like, at least not at this moment and at this point do I feel the need that I have to share my personal practice. I love teaching other people how to do spells, how to incorporate things into your daily life that can empower you. I do a lot of motivational speaking. So those things I share, but there are a lot of things about my personal life that I don't share with everybody, just because I choose not to, at least in this moment in time. But when we say the Real Witches of Chicago, we're talking about ourselves, but we're also talking about anybody that links up with us. So if you come and vend at one of our events, you're classified as a Real Witch of Chicago. Like that's just how it is. Like we want everybody to know that we're actual witches. It doesn't matter what religion or what practice you come from, whether you're Wiccan, pagan, atheist, whatever it is that you believe in or you don't believe in, we don't ask you that. All we ask is that our vendors be practitioners of witchcraft, because that is what we are. We're wanting to be proud and like be out there about what it is that we do, because then it makes it not so what's the word, not so cliche or not so taboo, I
right.
think you could say. Like, we deserve to be out here just like everybody else do. Like, we're rocking it and that's what we're doing. Like, so when you go, and it's funny, like, because the people that get asked, oh, what do you think about Nina calling themselves the Real Witches of Chicago, we're all tight, just to let you know. So when you go and ask somebody about me, that person is gonna call me and be like, Nina, like so and so asked me what I think about blah blah blah. So I know about you. So be careful, please.
Nobody's saying, like, I think that people need to understand that when we say the Real Witches of Chicago, we're not saying me and her is the only real witches in Chicago. Like, of course, nobody's saying that. Like, obviously, the name stands for, what the representation of the Chicago community of real witches. Just like, my sister said. So yeah, don't get it twisted.
Let's see. Oh, and then Vanessa did also say, Vanessa, if you could text me, girl, you got my number, or hit me up on Snapchat, but let me know. Remember when we were talking about that tent community, the homeless tent community that we couldn't find?
Right.
I think Vanessa might know where it's at. So Vanessa, sister, if you know where it's at, text it to me or message it to me, because we would really love to get out there, especially with these hot days coming at us. Like I worry about the homeless people, and I worry about the pets that are with them like the most. Like when it's a hot day, it's beautiful out, but then here I am sitting in my fucking air conditioner sipping matcha tea and shit. While, you know, I'm like, I worry about them. Like I really do genuinely worry about them. And we want to start doing more where we help the homeless more, because I mean, they're just so, handing them these jugs of water, sis, right? They were so like,
Yeah, people act like surprised. You know, like at first when I approach people, they look nervous, you know, or they thought I was gonna ask them for something or anything. But then when you just hand it to them, people are surprised and then they're grateful, you know, that you didn't expect anything from them or you didn't want, you know. So it was really it was good, and it was very very hot yesterday. You know, with the rain and everything, making it more humid. So I can't
mhm.
imagine how people that have like health issues, for example, like COPD and things like that. People that don't have access to an air conditioner and things like that on days. So that's very dangerous, you know. So
And our shelters, our homeless shelters, like you guys, you can research it for yourself, but our homeless shelters here get overpopulated to where they literally take people in until they can't take people in anymore. And then everybody that stood in this line in the heat, they have to go and find somewhere else to stay and hope that they can get to another near shelter in time to be able to get into that one. If not, they sleep outside. Like you know, like I really like looked into this because I'm very passionate about helping that community. um
because a
I
lot of
was
times,
actually,
oh, I'm sorry, sis. I was just gonna mention a lot of times people think like that, oh well, there's homeless shelters, so if they see a homeless person they think, oh well, they can just go to a shelter, but it's actually a lot harder to get into a place, and a lot of times they're full, they don't have enough beds, and you know.
and if they
So
have a pet, they can't take their pet in with them to the into the shelter. Like, so a lot of these people choose to not to stay on the streets because they don't want to lose their only friend, their only relative, their only family member. Like these homeless people see their pets as that. And trust me, I know, and I speak about this because I actually was homeless when I was younger, like in my late teens. I was couch surfing, and I was blessed enough to have people that would let me crash at their house or sleep on their couch or sleep in their garage or in their basement. Like I was blessed enough to have that, but I was in a different state, and like over there it wasn't such a thing for homeless people. Like it was like you wouldn't really see people sleeping on the streets. And then when I moved over here, I saw how like people were like literally sleeping with newspaper around them. And you know, and they're sitting there on the corners with their dogs and stuff. And it's just, you know, like my heart goes out to them, and they're like in my prayers like every night, especially like in the winter time, in the summertime. It's rough all around for them. So for us to you know, to share even just water, or like you know, like I've actually done sometimes too, where if I see somebody that's you know, holding a sign that says, you know, hungry and homeless or something like that, I'll stop at like a near McDonald's. I mean, what does it cost you to get a couple things off the dollar menu and bring it to them, and you know, here, and you know, eat, and like, you know, you doing that, like, you don't, it's not that you do it expecting anything in return, but you doing that, like, you can bet that the universe is going to bless you in some way. Like that takes a lot, because a lot of people just drive past, like not even caring, you know, in our hurry to get to their job, or in a hurry to go shopping, or whatever it is that they're in a hurry to go do, but they just drive past these people and don't even think about it. Like, you know, they're standing out here in the heat, or they're standing out here in the freezing cold, and you know, they just continue on about their life. But I'm just really passionate about giving to communities that are, you know, that are in need of certain things, especially if it doesn't really cost you much to, I mean, really, what does water cost you, you know?
hmm.
But let's see. So that was a blessing. We did that yesterday. I'm trying to see if there's any questions on here that have, I mean, everybody's really happy that about what it is that we did. Let's see. Yeah, we will share the links. I know I forgot to share sis. Remind me once we get off of here, like that I have to share your links on the other video that we did on on my Nina Soul channel. And then they're also wanting links to be put on here too, so that they could try to so that they could follow us on our Facebook page and stuff like that. Yeah, somebody said that they looked for it on Facebook. Vanessa said she looked for it on Facebook, but it won't pop up. So we'll go ahead and share those links. I will not forget because Stephanie is going to remind me. And if it doesn't happen, it's because Stephanie forgot to remind me and I just plain the fuck up forgot. Let's see. Oh, shoot, it got dark. Okay. My arrow garden went off. It's on a timer. So it it went off. We'll do, Christy Mortimer joined us. She says, it's so very nice of you to care for the homeless. It's becoming so bad all over the USA. Yes, I know. But you know, the more of us that do it, I mean, like we can all do our part in helping others, especially the people that are in need or the animals that are in need. I like to give to like the pit bull communities too, because they're so discriminated against, and I have one. So you know, any group that's discriminated against. My cousin Mary Jane joined us. She said, "Cuz you're so sweet. We need more people like you." Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Desert Siren says, homelessness has gotten way out of hand. When I was a kid, you rarely saw it, but now it's freaking everywhere. Disgusting that this suddenly great country has this problem. Yeah, Desert Siren, you remind me too. Remind me to remind Stephanie to remind me. Okay, okay, we've already announced that we now have a place where we're going to be having our classes. We are offering classes and parties and things at people's houses if they want to host an event with us. But for those of you that don't really have a whole lot of friends or family that are into practicing witchcraft, this is going to be a really good thing for everybody, because they'll be able to just come to a class and not have to feel like they have to have you know, people over, or you know, maybe they're not in the open yet as far as what it is that they're doing or their practice or what they're interested in. Not everybody that contacts us to learn what it is that we do are practitioners. Everyone has to start somewhere, and we're trying to make it easy for more of us to develop these skills, because if you know, even just sharing that knowledge, when people start to develop these skills, they start to take power over their lives, over the things that have been hindering them, and over their own successes. And that's what we want for everybody. We want to share that with everybody. We want that for ourselves, and we also want to share that for everybody. So it's a lot, like I said, you guys, when you extend a loving hand to people that are in need, the universe will bless you with that. So us extending these class offerings to other people who are interested in the practice or interested in getting into witchcraft, this is going to help us. The universe is also going to help us in becoming successful in what it is that we're doing. So, you know, each one teach one. So we announced that. Oh, Desert Siren said for us to come to Albuquerque. She said she'll host a party. Nice. Girl, don't tempt us. Don't tempt us. We're crazy. I'm like, we're here. I got your address. Let's see. Okay, so we made that announcement. What other announcements do we have? Oh, what type of classes are we going to be offering, sis?
We have a long list of all different classes. So basically, the main ones that I would recommend that people start with are like the intro to classes. So the introduction to tarot, the introduction to working with crystals, working with herbs, intro to spell work, because those classes set the framework and basically set guidelines that you can learn deeper and be able to do your own spell work and that. So basically, we're teaching you the methodology behind it and putting in your hand. Also, we have kits with every class, so you'll have the items in your hand and you'll actually be doing it yourself. So it's not like something where we just come over and give you a worksheet and tell you to read it or like take this little test online or something. It's actually that you're learning how to do it on your own so that you can do your own, and like how Nina said, you can be empowered. So because to me that's what witchcraft and yeah, the practice of witchcraft in general and is about, and even working with the dead and that is about elevating and about becoming empowered. So once you have those tools in your hand and you have the knowledge, then you're able to go out there and manifest, you know, the realities that you've been wanting to do, whether you want to um, change like things about your environment or about yourself, like inside or everything pretty much. I mean, since I've been able to have knowledge and pursue witchcraft, you know, on a daily basis as a practice, it's helped in every area, you know, in my life. So yeah, does that make sense?
It makes total complete sense because it's definitely, I mean, witchcraft has gotten me out of some very dark places. It has gotten me out of some very weak states of being like within myself. You know, and like when you feel like you're when you feel weak, you feel like just giving up. You know, and we tend to give up. We tend to give up on a lot of things. We give up on our career choices. We give up on our goals. We give up on our healthy habits. We give up on dreaming. We give up on everything. We think that, you know, a lot of us who are struggling are experiencing going through shadow work. So shadow work is analyzing the darker aspects of ourselves, and understanding those things and working through those things and gaining strength out of our weaknesses. So that's like really a major part of what it is that we do, what it is that we're wanting to teach. And
I
you
was
know,
gonna
it's
mention.
going to be really huh?
Oh no, sorry. I
Oh,
was gonna mention it's kind of like I mean, it's basically that knowledge is power. Okay, so once it's like if you start feeling symptoms in your body physically and you go on WebMD and you start searching, or you go on Google and you start searching like neck pain, back pain, you know, all that. In like half an hour, y'all, 15 minutes, you're gonna be ready. Like you're gonna think you're dying. You know what I mean?
I
Like you're
swear.
not gonna, because you don't. But when you go to the doctor or you go to a medical professional, somebody who has, you know, had the experience and the knowledge, and they can do like diagnostic tests and everything, and they can put that knowledge and impart the knowledge to you. Okay, this is A, B, and C. These are the steps that would behoove you, you know, to take that would help your situation. Now you have keys. Now you have knowledge. Now you have power. Okay, so when I look at teaching these classes, I look at like I'm imparting this power to you guys so that you can walk forth and take control and take hold of your destiny, and so that you can touch the people's lives that you're called to touch, because you're called to touch people's lives too. So I look at it like that, you know, as opposed, because when I look at when I started out practicing witchcraft, I was that person on Google searching, and you know what I mean, because I didn't have like those resources as such. So, and my sister can probably concur, like we had to learn a lot on our own, you know what I'm saying, like trial and error, and that's just how it was. So if we can give people a framework, a basis, you can learn in like a safe environment, then what you can do with that knowledge is going to be, you know, depending on what you want to do with it, but it can be very powerful and very empowering for you, and in turn empowering for other people, the people that you've been called to touch. So
I
sorry
just
if I.
wanted to keep the camera on you for a while so I didn't talk. I like wanted it to be like that, like yeah, but that's I love it. I love how you explain this, sis. That's really like it's like we're helping and building bridges so that more bridges can continue. Because I mean you think about it, if we help to show one person um spell work with a candle or how to use crystals, and then they go and teach somebody else, and then that person, I mean it's like a raising of the domino effect, you know what I mean, like a backwards domino, like we're not knocking motherfuckers down, we're raising you up. Like
Right.
you know.
Ew, because like you don't know, you guys, you could learn how to do spell work or can like just say basic candle magic, and you could free yourself, like, and in turn you could be freeing the whole generation that's coming after you. Like, we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, oh, I need a new car, like let me ask spirit to like help me, or so with something, you know what I'm saying, or we look at it like for right now, for our lifetime. But the things that you're doing, and you can impart it to your family, you could be breaking generational like curses, you know what I'm saying, with the work that you're learning. You could be I mean, just completely changing the roadmap for your descendants. I mean, that's huge, you know.
And you know, some of like I'm like shocked that sometimes people are so selfish that they really don't care about like the next generation. They're caring about, oh well, if I can't, you know, because like this, okay, this world that we live in is it's like it needs improvement, right? So if we start making changes as of right now, we might not be able to see those results within our lifetime. But if you could create a better place for your children or for your grandchildren or your nieces, your nephews, I mean, they still have to live in this world, and their children are going to have to live in this world even after you're gone. So, you know, like don't be so self-absorbed into what's going to benefit you at this moment. Like Stephanie said, you know, like once we teach you this power and this capability, don't feel like right away like, oh, I'm going to manifest this. And you know what, it's okay to do that, though. It is okay to do that. But it's like I tell anybody, when you're wanting to manifest something, be prepared. And even when you do a spell, say you do a spell to attract like to bring up your finances more, you want to be financially stable, right? So you start doing these spells to gain financial growth, right? So when you do this spell, expect that there are going to be things presented to you. This money ain't just going to fall from the sky above you into your lap, and then boom, you're rich. Like, no, like the way that it works is things will present themselves to you that you're going to have to work for what it is that you're wanting, because the universe
Like,
is like big mama. The universe wants to see you do something before you get your gift, or you receive your treat, or you know, whatever the case may be. You know how I mean, I grew up with like my mom like being like, well, you gotta clean your room first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's work. Like especially after you just dirtied that shit up, you gotta go and clean your room first before you get to go outside. Like if you wanna, you know, so you gotta think about it like this. The universe is a lot like a mother. So in order to receive what it is that you're asking your mother for, you have to do the work, and then you receive that thing that you're wanting. So it is okay to ask for a new vehicle and things like that, but you should not just care about your life in this moment. You should always care about others. You should always care about the generation after your generation. Like, and that is how you can change a lot. Like we have the power to change the world. Like this power that we have within us is not just for our own personal lives. It starts there, but it doesn't end there. That's the beginning. The beginning is taking control over your life. The process is to, and then turn, start caring about the things that are going on around you, the world that we live in. How can you make this world a better place? What is the legacy that you're going to leave behind? How are you going to be remembered? Because the memories that we serve to our children and to our grandchildren, once they're gone, then who's going to continue on telling that story about you? That's why you have to make such a big impact. It's so important that we make that impact. We leave our marks in this world because we want to be remembered for that, because then you're shown as you make it so that other people look at you as a role model, like, oh, my great grandparent did this, and I have to do something that's going to create a legacy, or that's going to follow that legacy, because that's something that needs to be continued. It's important that we instill these things into our children. We talk about the family members who are no longer here, because in certain practices, our ancestors come first. Like, our ancestors come first, our deities come after. Like, it's always our ancestors first all the time, because that's the DNA, that's the energy that's within us. Even if you didn't know your great grandparents, that blood is still in you. So you know them because you know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, you better learn yourself, because if you lose that, you lose that connection. And then it takes work to try to get that back.
Yeah. We're all gonna be ancestors someday. So I think about that. I'm like, what type of, I think about that. What type of spiritual legacy do I want to leave for my descendants? When my descendants call on me, are they? I take that into consideration, that I want them to remember that, in my spiritual work and in my daily life, that I was giving, that I was strong, that I had a lot of faith, and that I walked with my ancestors and my spirits every day, and that was manifested, and that because of the faith that I had, that they have faith to manifest their destiny, and that they can call on me, and that, that I can also, help them like my ancestors helped me. So that's another way to look at it. And I was gonna mention too, as far as like when you ask for things and spell, like, and work with spiritual working, one of the things that I think people need to keep in mind too, Nina, I don't know if you want to expound on this too, but I had an experience once where I asked a spirit. I was in need of a certain quantity of money, like for a situation. So I needed about $1,500. So I made that petition. I explained, why I needed the money, and I explained what I was gonna do, as like to show my thankfulness afterwards. And I said a time frame. Okay, so that's something that we'll talk about, like how you were saying, sister, that you have to understand like all of the nuances, like when you do a spell work or a work or a petition, you have to take into consideration everything. So I said, I was very careful that this money wouldn't be, that it wouldn't be the product of like an accident, that it wouldn't be the product of anything bad, that the way that this money would come up, it would just, would be provided, and that was that. So about a couple of days later, my husband parked the car at the gas station. He ran in to get a drink, and while he ran in, a car came over and hit his parked car. Okay, and so there was actually only cosmetic damage on our vehicle, so we were still able, and the insurance money paid out that exact amount that I needed, and nobody was hurt. The vehicle wasn't destroyed. Like, so it was like the
Yeah, because you have
universe.
a truck. Like, you don't have like a little Forenza. You have a truck. So I mean, they probably messed their car up more than what your car got messed up.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Cause so I mean, basically, and they paid out the insurance like in a couple days, because apparently the person that had hit our car, they were not working, with the insurance to like give their information. So they went ahead and awarded everything, to us. So that money was provided. It was the exact amount that I'd asked for, the exact amount that I needed to take care of what I had to take care of. I gave thanks for it. And I'll never forget that lesson, because I was very specific. Because you could say, hey, the main thing people ask for is your finances. Because when you have your finances, you're able to move, you're able to maybe start a business. So people will ask for finances, but you have to take it into consideration. What if you ask for that and you're not specific, and it comes as a result of, maybe somebody passing and an inheritance. Not saying that that's bad, but you want to be, I don't know, that's how I feel, right? So it's like you want
Yeah,
to.
or it could even be like you ask for this money, and then and then you go
Accident
into
and you're
you
paralyzed.
go to like, huh?
I say you could ask for a bit. You could, just go out there like and not know what you're doing and say, "Oh, I need a lot of money. I need, tens of thousands of dollars or whatever." And all of a sudden, you get into this horrific accident where like it affects the rest of your life. But you have that money now. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you
Mhm.
have to be very very careful what and how you ask for things. So that's part of what we wanted to
Yeah,
impart.
or even you ask for this money, and then all of a sudden you walk into this say you're walking down the street and you find this envelope of like, like this envelope of like a few $100s in there, and you're like, oh, I got this money, I got the money that I asked for, when now there's a family that's going hungry because that was their grocery money. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, you do want to be very, very specific, especially when it is that you're petitioning the universe or your deities to assist you in something. You want to be very specific, and you always want to also put it out there that you don't want anybody to have any bad experiences due to this blessing coming towards you. You don't want to take from anybody else. You want it to just come naturally in a way that is going to be a blessing and nothing less.
But no,
And
but no harm
and
to.
showing gratitude. Gratitude is very important, you guys. You can't just receive something, and like, you have to show gratitude. You always have to show gratitude to your ancestors, to your deities, to the divine, to the universe. You have to show gratitude for receiving that thing. Don't just forget about how you received it. Always keep in mind that that was a blessing that was given to you, and acknowledge the source in which it came from.
Mhm. That's
Go ahead, sis. You were gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say definitely the gratitude, because this is what I tell people. How would you feel if somebody walked up to you, they didn't know anything else but your name, and they just walked up to you and were like, Nina, Stephanie, I need $150, or I need a new job, or I need this. And you're like, okay, I'd like to help you, but I mean, that's the same thing in the spirit world. And I talked about this in videos before. You have to build that relationship first. They will feel offended if you just go to them and just asking. It's about the protocol, the way that you do certain things. You should take, like anything else. If you're trying to get to know somebody in the physical world, for example, if somebody helps me with my taxes one year, okay, in the physical world, and everything goes well, I get a big return, I'm probably going to go back to their office, their tax office, and take them like a fruit basket, or I don't know, something, to show my appreciation. If you have somebody that's always helping you with your insurance and they do a great job, you're probably going to give them a card or something, you know what I'm saying? So that's the same way that you would treat a professional and interpersonal relationship here in the physical realm. Should be the very same way that you approach it in the spiritual realm. You should get to know, the spirits that you're speaking with. You should start out by building a relationship first, and always thank them for everything, because they don't have to do anything for you. You know what I mean? So the fact that they stop their time and whatever that they're involved in, and they come and they, become involved in our affairs and assist us, that's huge, you guys. And that's something that we should never take for granted. So being grateful, even if you don't have money, even if you don't have a lot to offer, offering prayers, offering a glass of water, offering a candle, offering a snack, whatever you have to, that's a really important part, because it should be about um, elevation for both parties involved. They help you elevate, and you're also giving them elevation too with your prayers and everything like that. So that's just part of it. The daily life that you lead, with this relationship. And the first spirits that you should start a relationship with, in my opinion, are your ancestors, because they're the ones that are going to be to vouch for you in the spiritual world. You know, a lot of people, they're trying to learn about all these, and there's nothing wrong with learning about different deities or spirits. And you know, you should very much do so and see who's calling out to you. But never forget, like, first, you know, first and foremost is your ancestors, because they know like your background, they know what you're going through, and they're, a lot of them are rooting for you. And also, I wanted to share this really quick, is be careful which ancestors that you call on, okay? Because there were ancestors in our families that probably did a lot of unsavory things, okay? There may have been ancestors that committed murder, that committed, you know, rapes, things like that. So just be very careful when I approach my altar, ancestor altar, and I call on my ancestors. I make sure to say the ancestors that come with the greatest good and the highest truth. Okay, the ones that want the absolute best for you. Okay, so that's just some of the things that I keep in mind. So it's a lot more, you guys. Basically, saying all that to say that doing spell work and things like that is a lot more than just sitting down, doing a ritual, and asking for, you know, whatever you want. It's a lot more nuanced, and that's part of the information and the knowledge that we can, you know, impart to you, and it'll, you know, enrich your life, hopefully. So I hope I don't talk. I like to talk. I hope I don't
I
talk.
like talking too. I don't think anybody minds it though, because I'm sure everybody's like taking note. And like that's the other thing, you guys. When we do our live videos, you guys are gonna want like a pad and a pen. You're gonna want a pad and a pen next to you, because we do be like this. For you guys are getting a sample of what our class would be like, one of our classes. And I did see Julia, she mentioned a Witchcraft 101. She said she needs a Witchcraft 101. And oh, Melly said, "Wake and bake, everyone. Have a productive day." Girl, I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't gotten there yet. Like I was like, let me not. And I know Steph hasn't either, because I see her eyes are open. Let's see. Oh, my brother Mo joined us. Hello, Mo. Beautiful. I miss you. Um, Yeah, he said you have to be aware. You have to be aware of real energy. Yes, you do. And you know, it's like Stephanie said, like our ancestors come first. There's not a spirit that's more invested in your personal life than your ancestors, because your ancestors want such great things for you, especially because you're of their blood. You're of their legacy. You're following in their footsteps, or you're at least creating a path for the ones that are going to follow after you, you know. So they want you, they want you to succeed in all these things, and becoming empowered and elevating. You know, this is all really important. So yeah, Stephanie, thank you, sis, for sharing that. Let's see, I'm trying to see if anybody had any questions. We should probably get back to our announcements. But we're gonna come back. I want to come back because I wanted to share the books that I got, and like our story of like I wanted to share like our stories of like our experiences yesterday. So we should come back. So I think when we come back, we'll go on the Nina Soul channel. For those of you that have not subscribed to that Nina Soul channel as of yet, you guys go to YouTube. Well, you're on YouTube, but type in Nina Soul in your little magnifying glass, Nina Soul, and subscribe to my channel, because we're gonna be going live on there and talking about our day yesterday more in depth, because this video is supposed to be more of an announcement video. So I definitely want to talk about our experiences yesterday, because there were some like amazing experiences, and like I really want to share that, and the places that we went to. That way people can go ahead and check it out too if they're in the Chicago area. So if anybody has any questions, you guys, I know we've been talking a lot. Oh, here we go. Desert Siren, she says, are you gonna do higher level witchcraft classes? Yes, we are, Desert Siren. We're gonna be doing we want to encourage everybody who is just starting out to take our intro classes. So an intro to what it is that we do, what witchcraft is, what witches are, what we, you know, like what it means to be a witch, what it means to call yourself this. Like we want to explain all of these things to everybody, because witchcraft is becoming like it's becoming very like a fashion, like a fad, right? Like everybody wants to be, you know, like how you were saying, like everybody's all like, oh shoot, you know, like everybody like is like all like it's becoming like a style almost, right? Sis, what do you think of that?
I mean, I think it's good that people are getting exposure because it's going to be able to empower yourself. It's just important that people understand and because it's not a joke, it's not a game. It's really important that people understand what they have in their hands. Otherwise, it's like, to me, it's like you're putting a loaded gun in somebody's hand and they don't know how to handle it.
And taking it serious. This
Yeah.
is serious. This is not something that you could just like, oh, I'm gonna try it for now. Like, no, this is a lifestyle. Like these are lifestyle changes. These are, and like you can't just be like, I mean, you can dabble, but I mean, like, to try it out, to test it out. That's the whole purpose of our intro classes, because we want to give you a better idea, and we're up to answering any questions that anybody may have. There are no, I always tell people, the only stupid question that there is, the only stupid question that exists is the question not asked. That's the only stupid question. Other than that, there is nothing that you could ask me that is gonna offend me, that is gonna make me feel like, oh, like, you know, that's such a dumb thing to ask. Like, no, like, you're asking, you know, and if you're asking, it's out of your curiosity, and I'm open to answering your questions. And that's what the intros are, is basically we're gonna be allowing everybody to kind of ask us questions, you know, anything that it is that they were wanting to know before getting into a, what would it be, like an intermediate, or like, how would you call, like, the second, like first, second?
Yeah, like another, like a higher tier, like a higher level.
Yeah. So we are going to be offering like higher levels of classes. And then Desert Siren also wants to know prices of these classes. So the prices of the classes are going to depend on the kit that is included. So we're always going to try to go for like, we're not going to go for like the real, you know, like, for example, the candle spell, like intro to candle workings. We'll have like more of like chime candles. We're not going to make the kits really like expensive, but then as we go up in the classes, I think we are going to, the kits are going to include things that can actually be used within your practice. For example, a cauldron. I mean, like, with a lot of us witches already have cauldrons, but some of us don't. But if your kit includes a cauldron, we're going to make sure that it's a cauldron that is going to last you for probably your whole lifetime. You know, we don't want to put like janky things inside your kits. So the price is going to really depend on the cost of the kit, and also the space that we're going to be renting for this class, which is going to be in this awesome, awesome coffee shop, you guys. And it's right next to this bookstore that we went to and that I'm going to talk about. And you guys are going to want to hear about this bookstore. So don't forget to subscribe to my Nina Soul channel on YouTube, because you guys are going to want to hear about this. And we're going to go into talking about more of like just the experience that we had in Wicker Park yesterday. So yeah, like the prices will vary, but we are going to have a price list. So if you are interested in a certain class, you would be like, you know, you would email Stephanie. Stephanie's in charge of sending the information out to everybody. So you would email Stephanie, then she would give you like a class, like what the kit includes, and what we will teach you in the class, and what you are going to be knowing by the end of the class. That's kind of how you got it set up, right, sis? Something
Yeah.
like that. And then it will include the price in that, and that's it. Like, and we're also working on creating these classes for those of us that don't live, those of you that don't live in Chicago or in the area that wouldn't be able to make it to a live class. We're gonna be doing classrooms online. What is that called? I forget what that's called.
It's
Creating
like an online format. Yeah.
So we're gonna be offering that to everybody that is not local, so that you guys could still learn with us online, and you guys will still get the kits. We're still gonna make it to where you'll receive your kit, and then you'll have access to the online class. most likely, I think some of them will have like live access to the class, or else if you get your kit later on, say you want to sign up for this class later and we've already done the recording of the live class, you'll be able to play that class back to learn with your stuff that you have in front of you. And then if you have any questions further that were not answered in the video, we're always open to creating videos like this where we can discuss it more in depth. As like that way, if anybody else has questions about anything, the only thing that will not be offered to YouTube will be our classes, because we're going through another format to be able to offer those classes to only the people that pay for the class. So YouTube is just going to be our way of like discussing topics. I think both of us were kind of going more towards Patreon. I know we're working towards creating our Patreons and offering things that way, because YouTube is getting to where they're being more. For example, my Nina Soul channel, I'm like still bothered about this. I'm almost there though, and I'm gonna do a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers. But I was doing mobile live videos on my Nina Soul channel of just like, just things like, oh, like tutorials, or like I want to show you guys how to do this, or like witchy life hacks, things like that. But now they've made a new thing that I need 1,000 subscribers in order to go live mobile. So, like stuff like that, like YouTube is getting extra. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, let's go to Patreon. We out this. Okay, Desert Siren says, okay, all questions answered. Thanks, sis. You're welcome, Desert Siren. Oh, and Vanessa wants to know about the riding with the witch. We were going to do that yesterday, but we kept hopping out of the car, and we're like, anything could happen. Like, because we went to the hood yesterday, and we were like in Humboldt Park, like hopping out on like North Avenue. And you know what's good though? You know how many people like saw us doing that? And I think that I feel like we inspired passerbys, because they saw the act of kindness that we were doing. It's just like we were pulling over, putting our hazard lights on, and Steph would jump out the car, get a jug of water, take it to somebody, and then like we were just going around doing that. And it was nice. I really enjoyed it. So we're gonna make this like part of our sister day. When we're going off on our sister date, we are gonna go ahead and like leave stuff for homeless people.
Yes.
I thought that was so sweet that you left. Like Stephanie left. There was a homeless guy sleeping in the park, and like he was like sleeping, and she didn't want to like wake him up or disturb him. So she like set a jug of water by him. I felt like it was like the tooth fairy. I'm like, I just seen her be the tooth fairy right now. It's so sweet.
No, you know why? Because I'll just share this. I've had the opportunity to work at a lot of places in my life, and some have been glamorous, some. And one of the places that I had the opportunity to work at was the third shift at McDonald's. And people would come in the morning, and homeless people and everything, and they would be like sleeping at the table, and we would just leave something for them, like a coffee, something, and not even like making a big deal out of it. You don't know how someone got in that situation. Like, who am I to judge, y'all? Who am I to say that somebody didn't have their life together and that's why they're sleeping on a park bench? Like, if I ever say that, like, I give everybody, all of you at once, like, permission to smack me, because like that's not even how the world works. I don't know anybody's story, and like, we're just here to be a blessing. If I'm able to do something, then I feel blessed to be able to do that, because some people, I've heard people, and everybody's different. You can have your opinion, but some people say, oh, well, I don't want to give anything to the homeless because I don't know what they use it for. And to be honest, y'all, I don't care what they use it for. Like, that's not my place to judge. Like, we're just there to give water, like, when it's hot, to give love, to give coats when it's cold, you know what I mean? To give food when people are hungry. I feel like that's one of the highest honors that we can have, to be honest. So no, I'm really excited that we continue doing it, and I think definitely other people see that and they see you just hop out for like a quick couple seconds and hand water, and they're like, "Damn, that only took her a couple seconds. Like, I could do the same thing," and So hopefully, there are, it's like something that we spread around because we spread so much anyway, in the day. Like if you're mad and you call somebody else, like you want to spread that, or you want to get it off your chest, or we spread so much energy anyway. Let's start being a little more conscious and focused on spreading really good energy out there. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's good. I enjoyed it. Okay, so are we done with all the other? We're done, right? With that, like, should I do the big one now?
Yes.
Okay, so the big announcement. You guys know that the Witches Ball is this year. Witches Ball is October 5th. Tickets are already on sale. I will also leave the Eventbrite link. Sis, remind me. I will leave the Eventbrite link down below once this video is aired or streamed or whatever it is. I mean, we're streaming now, but once we get off of here, I'll go ahead and put that information in the description bar. So the Witches Ball is October 5th. We have changed it up a little bit. So it's still Witches in Wonderland, but it's going to be more based around the Mad Hatter and his tea party. So if you guys have ever seen the original Alice in Wonderland, the original one, and you might think that this is like, some of you might think it's a little bit like, oh, Alice in Wonderland, like, isn't that kind of childish? But here's the thing, if you guys looked into these stories, a lot of these stories were true, or they were based on something. Like, for example, Winnie the Pooh was based on Christopher Robin, who had schizophrenia. So all of these characters in this cartoon were all personalities of Christopher Robin. So it's really interesting when you look into, and that's the other thing. I love looking into these things because they're so interesting to me. I'm so interested in like the stories. Like Pocahontas was a real story. A lot of these like child movies or Disney movies or fairy tales that we grew up with, a lot of these things were inspired, the writers were inspired by actual real things. And if you watch this, you'd be very surprised of like, like just the story behind it. Some of them are very creepy. Like I think Alice in Wonderland is actually a very creepy, like kind of story. But so we're basing it around the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. And we are actually working together in creating not just a witches ball, but a witches weekend. So when you guys come here, if you guys are coming from out of town, if you guys are planning on traveling, I've already got the hookup on rooms, so you guys don't have to worry about that. The 2-night stay. It's a 2-night stay at the Comfort Suites Hotel, the O'Hare in Schiller Park. So you guys are going to be right there for the second day event. So the first day event is going to be October 5th. That's the Witches Ball. After the Witches Ball, you're going to go home, go to your suite, your comfort suites room. And then the next day, which would be 10/6, October 6th. So if you guys have ever watched Alice in Wonderland, if you guys are an Alice in Wonderland fan, or if you guys even followed my Facebook post when I put 10/6 hint, that 10/6, if you guys remember, that 10/6 was one of the things that the Mad Hatter had, like it was like a ticket he had on his hat that said 10/6. So it's so funny and so crazy, and I want to give a special thanks to my sister Miriam, because she was actually the one that pointed this out. Is the synchronicity. So 10/6 is October 6th, which is going to be our second day event. So this is a Sunday event, and we're getting together and putting together a Witches Expo. So the Witches Expo, it's going to be the Real Witches of Chicago Expo, and we are going to have all of our vendors, like all the vendors that have been at my past events that I've hosted are going to be at this event. And a lot of them are already signing up because they're wanting to be there. So I'm planning on having about between 20 to 30 vendors. I'm not quite sure yet how many I'm going to have, but it's going to be a big thing, and it's going to be hosted right there in the Comfort Suites Hotel. So when you guys wake up, you guys get your breakfast, come on down to the Witches Expo and have more fun. Like, it's going to be a blast. So this has gone from a 1-day event to now a 2-day Witches Weekend event. So y'all better get ready. I mean, if you guys have thought about coming, if you guys were kind of like teeter-tottering about coming, y'all better lean this way because this is about to go down. It's gonna be a blast. I'm so excited for it. I'm so like that's why we were like waiting the best for last.
Yes,
I mean, the classes
definitely.
are like already bomb, but like a Witches Weekend.
Yes, for sure. So you guys have the chance, like we can all party together at the Witches Ball. Then, I mean, the Witches Expo is gonna be like family friendly. I mean, there's gonna be stuff for the kids, y'all. It's gonna be awesome. Like it's gonna be amazing, and I can't wait to see all the different vendors out there. It's gonna be great.
I'm super excited. I can't wait. A lot of our vendors, like we had so many like cool vendors at our last event, and then they're all gonna be there. Like, so I've been having witchcraft fairs. I think this was my fourth one. I want to say, I think it was my fourth one that I've hosted. So I've gotten to know a lot of vendors in the Chicago area and even beyond the Chicago area because some of my vendors have traveled from like out of like from Ohio, from Indiana, from Wisconsin. They've traveled from around the area just to come to vend at the events that I've hosted. So I've gotten to know a lot of vendors and I'm so excited because like my smaller witchcraft fairs, which have been like 11 vendors, I've only been able to pick certain ones. But now it's like I get to be like everybody, you know, like we're all gonna be there. So I'm really excited about it. And what's gonna be included at the Witches Ball? Everybody is gonna get a Witches Ball goodie bag. So everyone at their places, and that's the other thing too. If you guys have been to a Witches Ball, you guys know wherever you sit, like where you're seated, you always get a special gift as a thank you for attending this event. So what's going to be included in your Witches Ball attendance and at your place, there's going to be a witchy gift bag, a witchy goodie bag. And in that witchy goodie bag, there's going to be sample products. There's going to be coupons. There's going to be all these things from all of the vendors that you are going to see the day after. And they're pretty much giving all these products to add into the goodie bag. So then at the Witches Expo, you'll be able to use your coupons there. You'll be able to sample your products, and you know, like some of them do like bath products, soaps, lotions, oils, different things like that. You'll be able to sample the product or incense even, and then you're gonna be able to go and purchase the product, like the full size products at the Witches Expo if you really enjoyed that product. So I'm so excited that all of these vendors are giving items to put into the goodie bags so that you guys can join us for the Witches Expo. And you know, so it's gonna be bomb. I'm like so excited. I'm like ecstatic. Like I'm beyond excited. I'm like excited on 10. Like um let's see. Yeah, so a Witchapalooza. Yes, Erica is the Witches Weekend is gonna be bomb, and I want to do this like this is gonna be my first year doing this, like my first year doing an event, a 2-day event. I mean, I've done the 1-day event, but this is gonna be my first time doing this 2-day event, and if it kicks off good, so I'm asking that all of you guys come and support. You know, come to the Witches Ball, come to the Witches Expo. You guys, I'm asking you guys to all come and support because if I have a good turnout, I know I'm going to have a good turnout, but you guys coming is going to entice me to do this every year. So imagine every year I'm going to Chicago for the Witches Weekend. Imagine that. Like, that's so bomb. Like, yes, you know, it's not a 1-day thing. Like, the fun don't end there. I've set it up to now you come and you can stay 2 nights at the hotel at discounted rates. You know, so I've been working really hard at this. I've been talking to, and that's the thing too, is like a lot of you guys have been waiting for waiting for like me to respond to messages or waiting for products or anything like that. But here's the thing is like I got my hands full. I mean, I'm thankful that I have my sister Stephanie, my sister Miriam. Like y'all have been like bomb. You guys have been, I mean, they've been my riders. Like I got one right here, and they've been my riders. Like, cause they're like, yes, bitch, let's do this. But yeah, sis, go ahead. What are you thinking about all this?
I'm super excited because, like you were saying, I mean, the Witches Ball, you guys, like, this is what we were talking about, building our community. And if we can have something like this in Chicago where all the people are a good part of the people in our community that identify as witches can come together, can vend. I mean, we'll do later on the other video, we'll talk a little bit about some of the vendors that were there this past weekend because I promised that I was going to do some product reviews because I was able to get some really amazing pieces there at this event. So, I mean, it's only good things that come together when witches come together, when they come to see each other's creations, each other's art. You guys, it's just the energy there. It's gonna be like palpable. I mean, there's going to be, you know, of course, going to have readings. There's going to be stuff for the kids, fun stuff to do. A lot of different, like Nina was saying, all different types of vendors selling all different types of things. So it's going to be a great experience. It's going to be the first annual one. I'm speaking it into existence that it's going to be from now on every year, you know, something that's going to bring our community together and also with the donations also that we can even do that on a bigger scale with something like this. So it's definitely something that we want everybody to be a part of for sure. So I can't wait. I'm counting down the days.
I know. Oh my God. And also, oh, so I do see Desert Siren. She said no, so no hangovers, people. LOL. And then October Moon also said, yep, no hangovers for us. We need to be alert. So if you guys are hungover, the thing is too is that like the bar is gonna be also in the Witches Expo, so you're gonna be able to get your drinks. What does that say? Like, how do the Latinos say like when you have a hangover? What do they say?
A michelada.
A michelada. Get yourself a michelada, walk around and enjoy the conversations, go shopping. It's just gonna be amazing. Last year I had the Witches Ball. I had the Witches Ball was like on the upper level and all the vendors were on the lower level. So I had it together. But this year I want to try to do something different. I wanted to create a 2-day event and like kind of have it where, okay, when you're at the Witches Ball, you're enjoying the Witches Ball. When you're at the Witches Expo, you're enjoying all the vendors and you get to go shopping and do all of that over there instead of trying to be in two places at one time. I think it was just kind of like, I don't know. I wasn't able to really like look at the vendors or anything. I went and checked on them and stuff, but I want to be able to like, it's just, you can be more a part of things when you kind of separate them a little bit, because then it helps you to be able to, instead of being in two places at one time, you can enjoy the moment in each place. So I'm just so excited about this. Like, and also in your Witches Ball, in your Witches Ball tickets, you guys, the ticket does include, so I believe the tickets are 103. The tickets are 103, and what's included in that 103 for your ticket is it includes open bar, so you don't have to worry about paying for your drinks. You don't have to bring any extra money with you because we're not going to have the vendors there. So you're not going to have to worry about, oh, I need spending money or anything like that. Your bar is open, so all your drinks are covered. So your drinks are covered, your food is already covered. So you're gonna have soup, salad, entree, then dessert. And then after that, there's coffee and tea that's going to be offered for the Mad Hatter tea time. So you guys don't have to bring anything with you. That $103 covers everything, your drinks, your food, everything. So everything is covered. You don't have to bring any money with you that night. And then the Witches Expo is the next day. So the fun doesn't end that night. The fun continues till the next day. So, I mean, you guys, if you have not gotten your tickets, you guys get your tickets. You guys are going to want to be there. Reserve your rooms. If you've gotten your tickets, reserve your rooms, because those rooms are, I mean, I have a party booking and there's a certain amount that they've given me. And if I go past that, I might be able to work something out. But when you do a party booking, they give you a certain amount of rooms. So you guys, if you are planning on traveling over here and attending the Witches Ball, you guys are going to want to book your room, and they don't ask for payment right away. You do payment once you check in. But you're going to want to book your room. You're going to want to reserve it. So the reservations are at Comfort Suites in O'Hare Schiller Park. And that's only like 15 minutes away from the actual venue where we're having the Witches Ball. So, and then you don't have to worry about traveling the next day, because the Witches Expo is going to be right there. And then right across the parking lot, there's like a restaurant that they serve like all different kinds of foods, like Chicago style foods, drinks. And then I don't know if there's also a restaurant inside the hotel, but I don't know if they're going to have that open that day. However, drinks are going to be offered at the bar at the expo as well. So you guys, this is going to be bomb, like for real. Like I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. So excited.
For sure, no, definitely. I'm almost like, I love the summertime, but I'm almost like, I'm ready for fall now because I'm ready for the expo. But I'm not. I know. Don't worry. I'm not gonna say that because I'm enjoying this weather, and we have to enjoy every season. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's gonna be awesome.
Right. Oh, so October Moon asked, what time will the expo begin? So the expo is going to begin. So our vendors are going to be setting up. So the expo is going to start and be open to the public at 2 p.m. We wanted to make it a little bit later, just so people could like, like we're having a party, so we want people to like have time to wake up, wipe the crust out their eyes, get them some coffee, something to eat, something in their stomachs. And then, 2 o'clock we thought was a great time for everybody to come to the expo. So the expo is going to be from 2 to, I think it's 2 to 8. Let's see, hold on, let me do it.
Okay, so you guys have a lot of time to come through and.
Yeah. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. is the times of the expo. So we're going to be from 2 to 8. Oh, go ahead. I got stuck on me. Say something so it goes to you.
No, I just hope to see everybody there. Like I said, we'll announce it a little later on. We're still getting everything together, but as far as the donations and that go, you guys just bring the whole family, bring your friends, and like Nina was mentioning, if you come to the Witches Ball, you're already gonna have coupons and things that you can use towards purchases. I know for the readings, I'm gonna have it in there. You guys can get a discount of the reading at the expo. So it's just going to be all around win-win for everybody. And one thing that I was mentioning that we were talking about is this Sunday. I mean, I can't describe to you what it feels like. A lot of us, if you identify as a witch or whatever, you know how it is. We step out into the street and we don't conform, but we play the role that we have to play in the society, because a lot of times we can't talk about this with other people, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't be at work talking about our spells and our jars now. But I mean, we can't be talking about that. So it's so cool. Like, I felt so free on Sunday, like at the Witchcraft fair. Sis, like, I just felt like I could be myself, like the way I dress, like the way I am, like the things that we like. It's really nice to be in that environment, and to have something on a bigger scale that's excuse me, like all day long, where you get to meet so many other, amazing people in the community, and you can network also, and it's really, really cool. So I don't see anything but positive, coming from it. Definitely, I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I know I keep saying
it's so funny that you had said that you can't just go to anybody. I actually do. I actually do that. Like, even when I met, so okay, when I booked the party for, like, every time I do a booking with a hotel, when I do a party booking with a hotel, I always let them know it's going to be witches. Like, it's a group of witches, you know, they're staying there because I'm hosting the witches ball. And so, you know, there was one last year, I think it was last year or the year before, that the hotel was, they were so sweet that they actually put in like a welcome, like welcoming their guests. So they put a special welcome, and I think it said welcome witches, I think is what it said. So it was so cool. Oh shoot, I think I lost Stephanie. I think she's gone. But it was so cool that they did that. I thought that was so sweet that they went ahead and put like a sign that said like welcome witches. It was really cool. And this event too, so for the, yeah, I think I lost her. I think I lost her. Okay, so for this party booking at this hotel, I did introduce myself, and I did let the manager know that I'm a witch. And he was actually super cool about it. I was like, you know, yeah, like I'm a witch. You know, this is an event that I'm hosting. This is gonna be the third annual witches ball that I'm hosting, and I wanted to host a witchcraft fair or Witches Expo. It's now a Witches Expo because it's going to be such a big thing. So, okay, yeah, she said the call dropped. I'm going to see if I can add her. Hold on. Let me try to add her. So it's going to be, sorry, you guys. I'm trying to, let me, it's awesome because the venue is going to know, like the hotel knows like what we are, like, you know, so it's like, it's not like, I'm like, I had even told, I had told the manager, I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he'd appreciate that. But I even told the manager, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, so I had asked him, I was like, so is this the first time that you've met a witch? And he was no, he goes, actually, he's like, I had an employee who was Wiccan. He's like, I had another employee who you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was explaining about my meeting with the hotel manager yesterday, about how I had asked him if he had ever met a witch, and he was like I was like, is this the first time that you meet somebody that introduces themselves as a witch? You know, like, he's like, no, he goes, I've had an employee that was Wiccan, and I've had an employee that said that she did spell work and she did witchcraft, but she didn't classify herself as a witch yet. And I was like, oh, I was like, he goes, and he's like, it's not very often that people introduce themselves as you know, he's like, I was a little bit surprised, but he actually really liked, I don't know, like, I could see us like just hanging out and chilling, like having coffee and shit. Like, he was so cool. So I really love that. Like, I love that we're able to like just be like, we're making it a place and a time that we can just be ourselves and live out loud. Like, a lot of us, like Stephanie had said, a lot of us are still kind of like, you know, kind of like, not, I don't want to say hiding, but not revealing yourselves fully and completely. Not you know, I don't know. So, and some of us like to just keep our personal lives personal. Some of us choose to live that way, and some of us are wishing and hoping that one day it's not such a thing that's so taboo to call yourself, to classify yourself, to and to represent yourself as a witch. So I'm kind of like creating that, like, kind of making it so that it's not such an uncomfortable thing by like asking people like, well, what do you think of it, or do you want to know like more, or you know, like, is it okay if we is it okay with your hotel if we call it this? Like, do you think that this will? And he was just like, yeah. He goes, yeah. He's like, you call it what you want. He's like, it's fine. He's like, he was completely open to it, and I loved his energy. So I'm excited. I get so excited when I know that we're going to be working with other people who are so open-minded, and maybe it's not for them, but at least they're open-minded and respectful of the choices of others, and just the differences, you know. So, oh, Miriam said, oh, Desert Siren said, yeah, that they had a blast last year, and she said that that it's better because her hubby last year had to keep running to the car to put their purchases away. That's funny. And then Miriam said that she agrees with you, sis. She said she agrees with Steph. It was very freeing, and she put a butterfly.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's cool. This is our time, you guys. This is our time and our place. We were made for a time like this, and we're walking in our destiny. And I'm excited to see what happens in everybody's life because we all have a different destiny, a different path, and the way that everybody that we're coming together and learning how to use our gifts and developing our gifts and being a blessing in the community that we live in. It's really powerful.
Yes. So I think that was it. I think that was our last announcement, like our last big ass announcement. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Like, okay, so the classes.
July, or well, should we tease that? Should we tease it a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, we'll tease that one. We'll wait. I think we got enough for today.
You
We'll
stay
tease
tuned
that one.
on.
Huh?
No, I told the people to stay tuned because there's more coming. So
Yes, yes. You guys, we're constantly like every day. Me and Steph, we talk every day and we're like creating our master plans of what it is that we're gonna do and what we're gonna bring you guys and like the next big thing and like, oh, we gotta make this thing bigger than the last thing, and like we're just constantly like coming up with these ideas and these plans. So you guys be prepared because we're gonna be bringing a lot to the table, and we hope that y'all are hungry. So that's it. I don't know. Should we end this here and then go ahead and like take a break and then jump onto our live on the Nina Soul channel?
yeah, you guys stay tuned. We're gonna be doing some product reviews about some products that vendors had this weekend, and some stories from our journey yesterday and everything. So you guys stay tuned and make sure to subscribe to Nina Soul. That way you can get all that.
And hit that bell.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another video. Thank you guys so much for your continued love and support. And we will see you guys at the next video.
All right.
Hasta luego.
Bye.